Hey everybody, welcome back. Those first couple pictures that you saw were this T-98 that I thought was going to be in good shape, but I had some water in there. So it was pretty grimy in there. There was a lot of junk in the bottom of the case. There was not really any damage or anything, but there was a whole lot of sludge down there, and at some point something got in there. There was a straw from like a lubricant can in there, and there was a large piece of wire in there. I don't know what that was all about. Didn't cause any damage, but I did get all that junk out. Transfer case wasn't as bad. It didn't really have any fluid in it, but I'm moving ahead on both of these. I've got the Timken bearing cup in the intermediate gear, and almost ready to get this buttoned up, just waiting on some small pieces for the transfer case, and it'll be ready to go. I got the adapter on the back. I've got the bell housing and the flywheel and stuff, and that's probably get that sandblasted on one of these nice days. And T-98s are hard they're hard to rebuild. You can't really get anything for them. You can get a small parts kit, and that'll help you out. The counter shaft is the same as a T18, but everything else is different, and T98 parts are just about non-existent these days. So they are a pain. If you're going to do something, you're probably better off going with a T18 if you're thinking of a truck type 4-speed. This came in that CJ5, and you know, like a lot of people thought, oh, why do you take stuff apart? You know, well, this one had the clutch welded to the flywheel with rust. There was a massive mouse nest in there that would have caught on fire, I'm sure. This transmission would have self-destructed if I ran it like this. The engine is completely apart because that was just, you know, when the Jeep came in, I did get it running, but you could tell it wasn't going to run for a long time. So I did find a lot of stuff messed up in there, and engine's getting rebuilt, T98, transfer case, everything. It's just good peace of mind when you're on the road. You don't want anything bad to happen. So that's coming along. Let's go take a look at the Willys Americar engine. I'll show you where that's at. Okay, I've got it painted OD green. Let's get some stuff out of the way. Okay, I was saving some special parts for this engine. This is a new old stock exhaust manifold. I was fortunate enough to get that a while ago, and I've been saving it for an engine ever since. Cleaned up a very nice intake manifold. Like I say, this engine would have had the draft tube on it, but you know, if you're going for originality, absolutely put the draft tube back, but it's not as good as a PCV system, which I have on here. And like I say, I have an rebuilt oil pump on here. I put the timing marks out here. I've got an alternator bracket on. I'm going to run an alternator on here. I don't know what I'm running for an oil filter yet, so I have that not on here, and I don't have the crossover tube on yet. But I do have the proper early carb on there for that. That's been rebuilt. And a 165 fail-safe thermostat is in there. So this will be on the test stand with the T84 behind it in a short amount of time. This is almost ready to go. Okay, there's Scott's 258 in the chassis. I just got a lot of towels in where the intake and exhaust is going. We're hooked up to the automatic there. Got urethane engine mounts in there, and this is what we're looking like. There's alternators on there, HEI distributor from Davis Unified Ignition, DUI, very high quality setup there, and just a normal fuel pump will do what we need. And that's what we got going on with Scott's setup. And we do have the correct hardware, bell housing to engine. Always used a flange head bolt. I do have the correct ones in there. Everything was missing, but I do have the correct bolts in there. And Scott's header just came back today. Let's go take a look at that. This was just a black painted header. It is now jet hot coated. The two flanges are coated. This is coated inside and outside. And like I say, this is done by Jet Hot, and their coatings are guaranteed for life. So they're probably the best in the business if you're thinking of it. It's not cheap, but it is worth it. You know, I was wanting to put a stainless header on here, but I couldn't find one, and I didn't want to go through all the time and expense of building a stainless one, so I got the black painted one, sent it down to Jet Hot. They clean it and they coat inside and out, and it is a very good way to go. Like I say, it's guaranteed from burn through or corrosion or anything like that for the lifetime of the vehicle. So they do a hell of a job on there, and the color is absolutely perfect. So this and the intake manifold will go on next. And now that everything's in, I can get the drive shafts in. And by 83 they were using the strap style instead of the U-bolt style. I still use Spicer hardware. That's the best out there. And when you're putting your drive shafts in, don't take a chance on use one of these guys. You know, I mean, get some new ones. They're cheap enough where you don't have to worry about your drive shafts coming loose. So anytime you're doing a restoration or you're changing a drive shaft after 100,000 miles, new hardware critical. So, you know, if you add up all the hardware that goes into a vehicle, the ARP bolts, the bell housing bolts, the rear end bolts, and the drive shaft, everything, the body bolts and stuff like that, hardware plays a huge role in a restoration. And best not to cheap out on it, because it will bite you in the ass at the wrong time. So we're going the distance on this guy with good, even where the motor mounts attach, good American made grade 8 hardware. It's going to pay off in the long run. So don't cheap out on hardware when you're doing a project. Okay guys, another day where I'm all over the place. Okay, this is a utility body that I'm doing for a local guy. I think I mentioned it before in other videos. I've got some bed liner on the areas that are really going to take a beating. There's a rack that's going to sit on top of here. This is epoxy primer. This is the last coat before. This is going to be red. And I thought I'd get the red on today, but it started raining just now and the temperatures are dropping too fast. Okay, here's the inside. Got the bed liner all in here. There was some shelves there, but the guy took them out. He's going to put some different stuff. I think Milwaukee boxes in here. But this is all cleaned up. This was sandblasted. It's an all aluminum body, but it was sandblasted because the paint was a disaster on it. But once I get this out of here, and hopefully it's going to be warm enough, I'm going to shoot the red tomorrow, and then I can get the 66 CJ5 body on that chassis. I can get the body in here, then I can bring the chassis in and use the beam to lower it down, and then when that goes out, I can get the welder Jeep in here and hopefully get the Cummins engine in that situated. But I was able to get the epoxy on here, so we're just going to let this sit overnight, and this guy will be red tomorrow. Okay guys, on this building, this is where I got my fab tools and stuff. pull max bandsaw, welding table, scramblers in there, scrambler body. You can see my temporary tarps are starting to go to hell. We got a couple days of rain. I do have a bunch of pine to put on there. I got to get the tarps down. I've got to get the pine up there, and it's just getting to be too much for one guy to do. So I got to take some time and get that secured one of these days when the rain stops, and I got to catch up on things around here. It's getting kind of crazy. I can't really slow down on jobs because I still got to make money, but it's getting trickier to get everything done at once. So we'll be taking a few days off here and there to get this pine installed. It's got to go on both sides, and I got to keep that shop waterproof as I can. You know, the sheet metal and the fab tools don't like any kind of moisture in there, so I got to get on that very soon. So like I say, there's a lot to do, and trying to keep up with everything. You can see the amount of projects going on, but trying my best. Okay guys, day's kind of getting away from me. I just wanted to show you the new Brown & Sharp number 13 that's on the floor here. And I am getting set up. I got some sheet metal here, hang on. I'm getting set up to grind tappets. For many years I was just able to put new old stock ones into engines and stuff, but I'm getting super low on new old stock, and now I need to reface them. I'm having a hard time focusing on that guy, but I will be grinding these soon for the guys that need them. Like I say, I've got a few sets that I'm saving for my own engines. People don't seem to appreciate new old stock parts in an engine, but I've got some new old stock ones for myself, and I've probably got a couple hundred of these saved that are pitted, and they don't have the right taper on them so that they rotate. They're actually cupped, they're dished, and you don't want to put those in your engine. So like I say, I'm getting set up, but one day is just running into the next, and I'm like I say, having a hard time keeping up. But when I get fully set up for this, I'll show you the process, and that's a service I'll be offering pretty soon. Okay, we're gonna end this one here today. Just wanted to bring you some updates on some things, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.